got to separate the vehicle from the outcome. What is it that's going to truly fulfill you? What is it that's going to give you that extraordinary life? But you can't have a standard education and expect to have an extraordinary life. It's not going to happen. The one breakthrough for all leaders is constant, never-ending improvement. And that means educating yourself and continuing to develop even greater emotional mastery, because that's what affects whether you execute or not. The opportunity for self-education is there. We have to change our psychology from, I'm going to do what everybody else does, and I'm mad because it doesn't work anymore, to the reality is this is the greatest time to be alive if you're growing, you're learning, you're educating, and you're developing valuable skills. It's like if you go to work for McDonald's, I don't know, I think the average I read recently is $7.75 an hour in the United States working for McDonald's. The skill sets, the value you provide can be taught to anyone in about 20 minutes. Instead of complaining, you gotta say, where are the skill sets valued in the marketplace? And how do I work harder on myself than anything else? Because if I become more valuable, then I will be able to give more, do more, and change more. When I interviewed Warren Buffett, I asked the most important investment he ever made in his life. You know what he said it was? I was thinking all the companies he'd done, He said, Tony, go into Dale Carnegie. I said, what? He goes, because by developing myself, that's the most important investment. Those skill sets, learning how to persuade, learning how to speak, learning how to influence, all my ideas would have died on my lips if I hadn't been able to influence, and I learned it from that little course. Most valuable thing I ever did in my life, he said.
Top skills that are hard to learn but will pay off, part 2. So you like part 1 of this video, where we talked about some of the hardest skills that you can learn, and they are sure to pay you off in the future. These might seem to be simple, but if we are being honest with you, let us tell you that not anyone can master these skills. Want to know the deepest secrets of the most successful people in the world? Make sure to keep watching until the end. So, the first one in this video is risk-taking. Now, how often do you come across situations where you have to risk it all in order to make a significant amount of money from it, even if your priority is not making money? Yet, the risk is something that will make your reward potential even more probable. Every entrepreneur in the world has had a phase in their life where they had to risk it all in order to save their company, and had they quit, we may have never seen those amazing services in space. Reddit, Uber, Airbnb, GoDaddy, all of these are some names that almost died out even before they were a big hit. Risk-taking does not mean you have to put everything on the line every time, but have the guts to do so when needed.
You've heard of that before. If you're watching this video, you probably already recognize that dead dog doesn't hunt. Right? You also recognize that things have changed, that having a degree, having a certificate, having a diploma, that's probably not gonna get you to where you want to go. If that's the case, why are so many students who graduate, they are struggling to pay off just the student loan? Why can't they get a job? I truly believe that we have shifted from the job economy to now what I call the skill economy. It is not the degree that pays the bills, it is the skill that pays the bills.
I made a decision when the computers started to become omnipresent, and so that would have been about 1993, that I was going to spend a year, and that was the first year that I was teaching in Boston, pretty much doing nothing but figuring out how Intel 486s work. And it meant there was a lot of other things that I had to put on hold, but I did become a competent computer user, and I'm pretty fast. But my son, it's just annoying as hell to watch him on the computer and on the phone, and my graduate students as well, because they're so much faster than me that it's not even funny, and I'm not really accustomed to being slower than someone else in the room. If I had children now, the one thing I would bloody well make sure that they knew was how to use a computer, how to program, man. Because if you're smart and you can use a computer, you are so much smarter than you are if you're just smart that it's not even funny. And you talk to people, you see this in Silicon Valley all the time, you talk to people who are expert computer users, they are so bloody powerful, it is just beyond belief. So, and that's going to do nothing but expand, right? Because Moore's law is not dead, and computers are doubling in power every 18 months, and who the hell knows where that's going to go.
So I have this thing that I've been promoting called No Whining Wednesdays. Wednesday, you cannot whine, complain, or criticize. And people are like, well, what is whining? Whatever you think it is, don't do it. And every time you do it, you have to put a quarter in a jar. Then last week, I had people send me pictures of their jars of quarters. But what they said to me also was, this was wonderful, because I was never, ever aware of how much whining and complaining and criticizing I do. Now I've got mothers doing it with their children. So Wednesday is No Whining Wednesday. We need to practice that. We need to stop whining about what isn't happening, what we don't have, what we can't do, what somebody didn't do. We got to get it clean in 2014. No whining, no complaining, no criticizing.
Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought in the comments section down below.